You know those days where it just feels like it's going to be a shit day when you wake up? Yeah, yesterday was one of those days, and we need to talk about it. Yesterday started out as a travel day, so we knew that we were going to have to leave the casino we were at. It was about 45 minutes to our next destination. However, we were going to have to stop at Walmart on the way to get the kids' school supplies because they started school the next day. And, last minute as we are, we had to go pick up school supplies. So when I woke up, I just felt crummy. I just felt like, oh, this is not going to be a good day at all. And so I knew that I needed to make a video. And so I go out there to record my video. I'm trying to get through it. The words don't feel like they're coming right. I keep getting interrupted left and right. The agitation comes up. And then I'm able to label that agitation and bring it down. Well, we load up. We get to Walmart. I'm trying to figure out a title for this video that I was trying to do. And I got so freaking triggered. Have you ever had that rage just, it's like a fireball that just rolls up in you and is spewing out. And I'm like, I don't understand this. I don't know what title to do. Da, 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 da. And Kyle was sitting next to me and he could see that my rage was going through the roof. He tries to help. He's like, hey, let me help you out. Let me try and give you some title suggestions. And my rage just did not want to hear it. I kept getting mad and frustrated and upset. And bless his heart, he did so sweet. He was just there trying to support me. So I finally worked through getting a title. I'm working with ChatGPT and I'm going back and forth and Kyle's helping me out. And so the rage is kind of calming down at this point. But then we had to go inside and go school shopping. And the lights and the people and all I wanted to do was cry. I felt so not enough. I felt so low. All of these feelings were overtaking me. And Kyle was so great. The kids were wonderful. They just kept coming up and hugging me. They were so kind and they were understanding. And there was a couple times where I got short with them and I didn't mean to. However, I do want to say this kindness that they show me didn't just show up out of nowhere. They didn't just wake up one day and were like, I'm going to be kind to mom. It was me being kind to them first. I call it hugging the porcupine. And so when they're in a trigger, when they're enraged, it's about me realizing they're not mad at me. They're not upset with me. My ego doesn't need to be involved here. It's more so about me seeing them for where they're at, whatever emotion they're going through, and trying to figure out why, okay, they're upset because this didn't work out, or they lost their game, or XYZ. And it's just saying, hey, it's okay. I got you. It's fine. I know you're upset. Let me give you a hug, or whatever they need. So me practicing this has led them to show me kindness in my moments. And boy, was this sure a moment. So in Walmart, I am not doing well. I am having just moments of such despair. And I don't know where this is coming from. It is all stemmed from this trigger about the video. And so I'm trying to trace it back, and it goes back to my not enoughness and not feeling like I'm enough. I was never enough for my mother. And there are some times in my relationship with Kyle where I wasn't enough. And that is hard to grow through. And so I'm trying to see this, and I'm in Walmart and I'm feeling all these emotions, and I'm seeing my kids and my partner be very kind to me. So because they're being very kind to me, I have awareness that, oh, I don't want to hurt them. Because old Jen, let me tell you, that Jen was a yeller. She wanted you to know if you were pissing her off, and she wanted you to hurt just as bad as she was hurting, which is stuff that my mother did to me growing up. So part of me carried that on, and in carrying that on, I've had to try and let go of it and not continue to do it. And I didn't want to hurt them. I saw them, they were being so nice and wonderful to me. Like, I didn't want to take anything out on them. Everybody has these shit days where they freaking suck. Like, you wake up and it's going to be a rough day. There's going to be a lot of managing. Even me, I still have these days. They're not as close together as they used to be. But man, my emotions, sometimes they just snowball out of nowhere. And then trying to regain myself is difficult at times. I'm not going to lie to you. Like yesterday, there was challenging. There were times where I wanted to just roar so badly. Like, I wanted to just delete my YouTube channel. And Kyle and I have a saying that we don't make permanent decisions out of temporary emotion. So if we're feeling big feelings and big emotions, we don't make any decisions in that time frame, because chances are we're not going to be in this emotion forever. It's just this emotion of despair and hopelessness, and that nothing is ever going to be better. We're going to be stuck right here forever. And that's our ego. That's our ego wanting to make it all about us instead of really self-reflecting and realizing what we have to do to make it better. So speaking of making it better, what did I do? Well, I did something called observing the moment. Most times our ego wants us to insert it into everything and make it about us. So what does observing the moment look like? So yesterday for me, it was being aware of what was going on around me and not wanting to hurt the people I love most. So I did that by pausing, labeling what was going on. I was in overwhelm of all of my emotions going on at the moment. And so I started to look at things while we were in Walmart, right? There was a little kid getting to pick out one of his favorite toys that he earned. And so I just observed that. And I observed someone looking at the cereal in the cereal aisle. And I observed one of the workers picking things out for the shoppers. And so I would just observe small moments around me to keep me grounded in the present, because our emotions want us to go spiraling down with them. And the best remedy is to observe the moment we are in to stay and feel grounded. Remember, our ego wants us to be the victim. Everything is everybody else's fault to our ego. And so in order to bring our ego down, I had to observe my family and what they were doing to help me. Eli was giving me a hug. Ben was pushing the cart. Molly was trying to say, hey, Mom, it's okay. We're going to go on to the next thing. Everybody was being so kind to me. And I observed that. And when I observed that, I felt such empathy and love and gratitude towards them for hugging me in my porcupine moment. In observing the moment, I realized that, oh, my family doesn't deserve to be talked to or treated anything but nice and loving, because that's what they were doing for me right then. There was a couple times where I was really short with my words with them, and that was the best I could do, right? In that moment, I was doing my best, and I was short with them, and I used to be a big yeller. So huge improvement, right? From yelling and having this rage and wanting people to know that I am not feeling good, to just my words being a little short, energy in them being short. And that still hurts someone on the receiving end of it. So once the dust settled in the day, I was able to go back to them once I had clarity and say, hey, you know what? That wasn't cool. Me being super short with you wasn't nice. You didn't deserve that. And I'm sure that didn't feel good. We want to validate their feelings because their feelings are important. We don't want to go just to defending ourselves. The first thing we want to do when we're apologizing for our actions is validate that that probably hurt their feelings and that must have hurt. And then you can say, I am having a really hard time and I appreciate you being so kind to me. So we want to make sure they're valid, seen, and heard for our actions that we did, because At the end of the day, we are responsible for managing our own emotions. You know, people that are around you and are closest to you, you set the standard for how they're going to treat you by how you treat them. And usually, they're really watching in the moments that you treat them really crummy, because then they feel like it's okay to treat other people really crummy. You know, kids observe everything that we do. They're little sponges. And the more that you are able to manage yourself and your choices, they see that. And then you know what? They're able to manage themselves and their choices too. I had to do the work first. I had to learn all of this and the emotional alchemy and managing my emotions in whatever moment I was in, because that set the tone for how to treat me. So now when they're so kind and so loving in these moments, it's because I've practiced this with them in their moments of need. It's not just something that people automatically are going to do. They're not going to know how to treat you. They only know how to treat you by the way that you treat them. And if we're acting out of our emotions and living out of our emotions all the time, treating them very poorly, that's the standard. That's how they're going to treat you. And so the old saying is very true. We have to treat others how we want to be treated. So think about those moments when you are in those big emotions and how it makes other people feel. If you're treating them poorly, that's how they're going to treat you when you're in your big emotions. It's not easy doing it first, right? Being the example and leading the way for your family and your loved ones around you. And it's worth it. It is worth it to get to this point where you can have a shit day and your whole family rallies around you and lifts you up and makes you feel held. That doesn't just happen overnight. It's practice, practice, practice. And there are times where, yeah, there's going to be a crummy day. You're going to fail. You're going to say the wrong thing. You're going to hurt someone. You know what? We can accept it and we can validate them. We can apologize for the way that we made them feel. And then we can let them know what was going on with us and give them gratitude for the kindness that they did show us in our time of need. So yes, while yesterday was absolutely a shit day, it turned out so much better than before I started emotional alchemy. You know, we talk about a lot of big, heavy emotions here. And I just want to thank you for being so brave to start your conscious healing journey and walk down this road together. This is not easy, and oftentimes it's very challenging. But I know if you keep practicing, if you keep observing the moment, hugging the porcupine to others when they need it, they're going to give that right back to you when you need it most. Don't forget to pay it forward for Ethan this whole month long. And if you have paid it forward already, leave a comment of what you have done to pay it forward, because that inspires others to pay it forward too. It makes it easier for them to do it with other people's suggestions. So please let me know, what have you done this month to pay it forward? I would love, love, love to hear it in the comments. I am so grateful that you came over today. Thank you for being here and being you. I love you so much.